Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of No Way Jose, starring the Boston Mass himself, Jose Raymond. How are you, Jose?
I'm fabulous. How you doing?
Good. So we did the New York Pro preview last weekend, so I thought it was only fitting to follow it up with a review. And just to put it out there, guys, this is just going to be the open in 212, so we can really get down down and dirty on those visions, pick them apart. Props to the people who really deserve some. So Jose, you said you didn't see the show, the whole stream, but Nate Tello, your partner in crime on the Boston Mass podcast on the Boston Mass YouTube channel, he had it going on his phone, and you were sneaking looks at it during a workout on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we were training legs, and in between sets, he had it on his phone. We were watching as much as we could. We were training at Impact, and they tend to shut down the Wi-Fi. She doesn't want people on their phones.
Oh, boy.
So we were getting blips and blurbs of it. And I went back and watched a lot of the videos, the highlights, the pictures. And I saw enough of what I needed to see.
Yeah.
And before we move into the bodybuilding in 212, there are a few mentionables.
Sure.
The winner of the classic, the women's physique, which is the classic queen. I forget her name. Is it
Alyssa Kiesling?
Yeah.
Let me get the right name. I don't want to. And it's women's bodybuilding. Yeah, she's young too. I want to say she's probably like 25, 26, something like that. Yeah. Alyssa,
she was tremendous
from Panama City, Florida. Yeah.
I followed her leading up to the show. I followed her the last year or so, and the improvements she's made have been spectacular. And I know that at one time she worked with Santi with posing and in prep maybe. And man, she now coaches herself. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
But what a presentation that woman brought. She was phenomenal, and she had great conditioning and all the stuff leading up to the show. You knew that she was going to be formidable, and she certainly was. The other one was again Maria Luisa
Diaz.
Yes, you said Baeza.
I think it is Baeza.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's Baez.
She's got like four names. Yeah. I'm looking at the score sheet. Right? Maria Luisa Baeza Diaz, Woburn, Massachusetts. Yeah.
All right. I'm still going to call her Baez. She was awesome. Again, she's got to have 5 or 6 wins now in the IFBB. So congratulations to her. That's exciting. 2 wins heading into your Olympia prep. She can shut it down for a little while. She may go win another one. Who knows?
She'll probably do Puerto Rico. Well, maybe I'm being assuming racist. Things. Racist. Well,
racist. No, from Chile.
Jessica Reyes Padilla is definitely doing that Puerto Rico pro, but maybe Maria. Nah, she won't jump in that. That's like 8 weeks away. She's done.
I know she owns a gym locally. She's probably got to get back to work and continue doing a great job over there, what they're doing. And she's got a lot of clients and stuff. So
Pro Lifters Gym. And where's that at?
In Malden,
Mass, with her husband, Tom Sarado.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of members now because another gym in the area just closed down.
Talking about the one in Revere?
Yeah. So Maria was awesome. Congratulations, Maria, again. And the wellness, the wellness winner, who flip-flopped with last week's winner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yarish,
and you know what? That was a good call because they are so close. You can flip-flop them every which way. Keep your mind clean, Ron.
Well, I'm just thinking I'm thinking not in a sexual thing, but Angela's already got her ticket to the Olympia.
Yeah.
They're so close. If you could toss a coin, why not? If I'm a judge and to me, they're very evenly matched, just give it to Yarishna Ayala. She's gorgeous. My goodness.
Beautiful. She was beautiful when she turned pro. I was there. That was at I believe the Junior Nationals.
Wow.
She got unbelievable abs, and it was crazy to see a bikini girl with such abs, but so well put together, so beautiful. The skin, the musculature, everything, the face, the hair, yep.
Well, how would you, for the people out there who don't know, wellness is kind of confusing still because it's still pretty new. Compare it to like the other divisions. Is it between some women's divisions or is it some weird hybrid? How would you describe it?
No, it's just a slightly more muscular bikini. Okay. It's not between anything. It's not figure. It's not bodybuilding. It's not women's physique, and it's not bikini. It's its own thing. A little more musculature, a little more muscle in the legs, a little more condition. Quite frankly, it's a little more of what I love to look at. Muscular, beautiful woman. It's catching on and it's going to explode. And they needed some stars to be at the Olympia. So if you just gave it to Borges again, right. Gorgeous Borges, she you'd only have 2 or 3 women at the Olympia. Yeah. So it's going to be very exciting at the Olympia. There's going to be a bunch of more winners. There's this other woman that I cannot get over is Dr.
Sunny Andrews. Yes.
Sunny Andrews.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. She's going to win something. She'll be at the Olympia.
Gorgeous. Well, we just said Borges is gorgeous, but Sunny was just stunning. I knew she wasn't going to win, but I was like, that's who I kept looking at over and over again because big giant eyes and they all look like
the legs, the glutes, the condition, those quads, the overall package. She's tremendous. So she's going to be another one at the Olympia to watch out for. I bet she probably already has enough points, but I think she's going to want to go and win something.
I mean, I assume they have it at the Cali Pro next weekend, wellness. So if she goes in that, she'll probably get enough points again where she won't have to do anything until the Olympia. I was thinking when I'm looking at that wellness lineup, I'm thinking every single one of these women look like they could squat 315 for 20. All of them. Just the glutes, the quads, the hams.
Yeah. The bikini winner was Romina Basualdo.
Yep.
She's been a veteran for a while. She's done very well. She's been to many Olympiads as well, and she beat Ashley Kaltwasser, which is a
3-time Olympia champ. Wow.
Yeah, and the winningest bikini competitor. I couldn't even venture to guess how many wins she has.
Many, probably like as many pro wins as you at this point. I'm thinking.
No, probably more.
Maybe
she's
more.
probably like 15 now or something.
But
true. It's good to see Ashley because I'm a big fan of her physique, and I hope she gets a good look at the Olympia. But you know what? She's very smart. She's a good example of people competing. She competes a ton, and she's marketed herself crazy. She's one of the most popular bikini girls of all time because she's out there. She gets her face out there and lots of sponsorship opportunities, and she's done a great job marketing herself. So, but congratulations to Romina. And then the men's physique, I don't know his name, but he was huge.
He was
jacked.
I'll tell you.
That's kind of what men's physique has turned into,
His name is Aaron. It's like I've never heard too many guys with the first name Aaron, E-R-I-N, but Aaron Banks from Fowler, California. Yeah, he was. The crazy thing to me is these guys have as much muscle mass as a lot of the guys in Classic, but their waists are even smaller. These guys have a waist. I mean, we don't know. They're under the shorts. Maybe they have giant quads. We'll just never know.
Yeah, some of them do for sure. But that guy looked awesome. Mm-hmm. So we can move on to bodybuilding now that we've paid homage to
Classic. We got to say something about Classic Danny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was what the heck's his name? Danny Unit. Yeah, awesome. That's who we predicted. We brought him up in our preview and we nailed it. We pretty much nailed it across the board. Danny was awesome. He's proven that he's where he belongs. He's up in the upper echelon of Classic guys. And it's not, he doesn't have the wild proportions of a Bumstead. But what he does have is clean lines, great condition, very balanced. he's one of those guys that if you saw him by yourself, you'd be like, he looks great, but he's not going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
But when he gets on stage, he just beats people. He has a little bit more of this and that than everyone else. So
his presentation is really, really good too.
Yeah. I mean, he pays attention to the little things like his skin and the color and all those things that matter in your presentation. And he nailed it. So congratulations to him.
And I don't know if you caught the interview. Did you catch the interview I did with him? I didn't realize he spent the first few weeks of this year with COVID, didn't train for like 6 weeks. He said he was eating like once a day, taking care of his family because they were all had COVID. They were in and out of the emergency room. And so I think he had basically about 8 or 10 weeks at the most to prep for this, put the muscle back on, and he was probably ripped from not eating, but yeah, he had been very, very ill. So extra congratulations.
Yeah, and the guy that placed second to him was his pro debut. He had incredible condition as well. He looks like, I don't know what the weight cutoff is, but he looks like he could use a few more pounds and maybe grow into his peak. I don't know. I think that's about what separated him and Danny, because his condition was certainly on par with Danny. Some say even better, but it was the fullness, the roundness, the overall look that he was lacking compared to Danny. So I think if he has a few pounds within the weight limit, then this kid is one to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I kept thinking is if he was like, I hope he's not already at the limit. If he is, I don't know what he could do, but if he's got like 10 pounds to play with and he puts that on, look, I'm being ridiculous. 10 pounds is a lot of weight, but still, that's what he would need to fill out because everything's there. He just needs to be fuller. 212. Let's get to it. That was your division, dude. First of all, across the board, a lot of these divisions were smaller than I expected. I don't know why. Why would you not want to do New York Pro? It's a great show. It's the third most prestigious show after Olympia and Arnold. Some divisions were packed, like men's physique, but geez, there was 10 guys in the 212. There was 11 in the open. Women's physique, women's bodybuilding had like five and 6 each. But still, the quality was there. You want to talk about this new guy, Nathan Epler, because geez, you probably have known about him for a while. I think we talked about it. I had no idea who he was until Indy the week before. But yeah, I have to find out what he weighed because if he's at the limit right now, I'd be a little concerned because he's got the tools. You can talk about it. He's got the tools to be very, very good in the 212 if he fills out a little bit more. It keeps bringing because that condition was crazy.
Well, first of all, touching on why people aren't competing, I think, this COVID, this nonsense, the travel bans and all this, there was so much unknown that people didn't know. That show's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to waste all this time prepping for this if it's not going to happen. There's probably an issue with a lot of foreigners traveling into the States or leaving their country to come here, so we probably missed a handful of overseas people that just simply couldn't do it if they wanted to. So, that probably has something to do with some of the numbers and just the fact that there's so many unknowns. They were like, well, we'll just wait until we know for sure a little later in the year. But, that didn't take away from the quality that did show up. Whether there was 9 people, there was 6 really good ones. Nathan Epler, I didn't know about him. I had no clue who he was until, a few weeks ago. And I started seeing some progress stuff. And then obviously at Indy, he was very impressive. Like I said last week, he could have won that one. Yeah. I would have had no problem with him winning that. I would have had no problem with John winning. John Jewett. Even this week, I probably wouldn't have had a problem with John winning again. I mean, he's so hard. I just think he's getting in his own head and coming in a little too conditioned where he's flattening out. It's just a little flatter look than I thought he could possibly bring. But you know what? I would rather err on the side of condition than
Right.
fullness any day, just because that's what wins usually, you know. I think Nathan just has superior structure. And when you just look at that standing relaxed pose, the front lat spread, those were the two that really jumped out at me. Him just standing there is wild. Really, really pretty physique. It is a classic physique. You know, I don't think he could fit in the classic division weight wise. I do think, Ron, that he is somewhere near the limit of 212. He's very tall. He's got to be your height.
He is. But so I'm thinking at the Olympia, he might have a rough time up, you know, you got these guys like Clarita and, you know, they're massive, massive guys. I just don't know how he's going to fit into that mix. I know I'm jumping way ahead by even saying that, but that was my thinking, because he's very, very good. I just wonder, you know, 212 is still a bodybuilding division. It's still mass is a big, big factor. So we'll see.
So let's enjoy
the win.
physique. The bodybuilding is back, and they came and they put on a phenomenal show, and that's what it's all about. It was exciting. Do I think he's going to go beat Clarita? No. It's just a different ball game. He's a foot taller, and you know, most of the top guys, you know, you're going to have Lunsford that's 5'5", Clarita that's not tall at all. Kamal again, you know, these guys are all more in the 5'5", 5'6" and under area. Just a different ball game. But you know what? Jewett was fourth a few years ago at the Olympia. There's no reason, if Epler comes in at his all-time best or even matches what he did this weekend, that he's not going to get a look. You know, he's going to get a look, and he could just beat some guys that aren't ready or aren't at their best. And, you know, he's in the top four. It's very possible.
I agree.
Even though he's tall. There's been tall guys before, like Sami Al-Haddad has done tremendous. He's got to be 5'8", you know.
Doug Dale was about 5'8", I think.
Not quite that tall, but he's taller than
5'6".
Yeah. But
Sammy's probably the tallest guy to ever do very well in the 212 that I can think of.
Yeah. And then who was third?
Well, third was Noel Adame from
That's right.
Texas via Mexico.
Wow. That's all you can do, shake your head at that guy. Like, you know, on paper, when you just see him hit a side chest or a most muscular, like, all right, that's the winner. There he is.
Right.
But when you break it down, structure, I don't think he was at his best. Again, you and I disagreed at that with condition. I just think someone like that, a physique that it was, you know, similar to what I was, a little blockier in the middle. When you're that big on a shorter frame, it's shit's gonna pop out everywhere. So he has to come in almost flat. He has to, like, his goal has to be flat.
Wow.
So his stomach is empty, because he's still gonna be the biggest guy on stage. And just absolutely bananas condition where there is no argument. Like, I can't say he was slightly off and you say no, he was. Everyone has to be in agreement. He was inside out. And then he's gonna be more dangerous.
I don't think it would have even made a difference. I think the judges like the shape and the structure of Jewett and Nathan better. So a little more condition, I don't think would have made a difference. He still would have been third.
I do. I very much do. Because I think if he was sucked out, that structure would look different. His stomach would be tighter. He'd hold it in a little tighter. I think if he was 5 pounds lighter and really just crazy dry, it changes the look of his structure so that you're not comparing. And then the only thing Epler would have had over him, or John would have had over him, was structure. He's bigger, harder, you know, and then he wins more boxes than they do.
He should have done the old Jose trick of not eating the day of the show.
Exactly. If I were his coach, that's what I would have done. I would have just starved him. Like, dude, you have more muscle than anyone. You're not going to eat for like 15 hours. Just get on stage, bone dry, and he would be crazy.
All right. Open bodybuilding, man. What a show.
Hold on. There's more.
Okay. Sorry, 212 guys.
Oslin was fourth.
Yes, Derek, Weapon X. Sorry, Derek.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have shuffled right past you.
The Weapon X, he improved tremendously from Indy. Whatever he did was a lot better. His hamstrings, glutes. You could argue he has the best structure. His hips are so stupid. Yeah. They're so small that taper is just insanity. And he's got the same problem he's always had, which is just density, hardness, the overall condition. When he nails it, he's going to be a sight to behold. But he needs a little more muscle, to be honest. Like a little more muscle so he can dry that out. If he dried out the way I envision him, he'd probably be under 200 pounds. Wow. So he has a ways to grow. He might tell you I was 208, 211. Well, you got to be closer to 200 if you want to be your real best, your real driest condition.
He did drop 6 pounds in between Indy and New York, though.
And it showed. And he looked way better. Way better. Who was fifth? Justin
Randall from Cumberland, Rhode Island.
That's right. I was confused because he got sixth the week before or something. Yeah, Justin's the balls. Justin is what bodybuilding's all about. He has such a passion for it and he trains like an absolute beast. And he kills himself with condition. And he's one of those guys where, he theoretically didn't belong in that lineup. And he worked his balls off to smoke all these people and be there. I mean, he's short. He's not structurally superior or anything, but he's got hard-earned, grainy muscle. And man, I just love it. I love his passion and how hard he works. And he was rewarded once again.
Yeah, he used to come up to Bayshore on Sundays with a couple other guys, and off season, I bet he still doesn't weigh more than much more than 210, 215. He'd put on 6 plates on the squat bar and just bang them out, rep.
He's super strong in everything, strong mentally. That's the most important thing. Yeah. He's not afraid to do anything. So hats off to you, Justin.
You want to say Samir is the one guy I still, he looked, he wasn't able to pull it together. He coached himself and he didn't know, he made an Instagram post. His body wasn't responding, but to me, that's genetically, that's the best guy on that stage. That's a guy that if he could put it all together, he'd be blowing shows like this away.
Yeah. I don't understand it. That's been his problem all along. He got in shape once and was top 3 at the Arnold, top 4, top 3.
Top 3. Yeah.
And, that shows you how good he can really be. I feel bad for him because he seems a bit frustrated and, he wanted to do it on his own. He's done it with coaches in the past. I don't know what's going on. If he gets in his own head and I don't know if he cheats, if he sleep eats, or he looks like he put on 10 pounds between Indy and New York. Yeah. Whatever he tried to do backfired. Yeah. It made him worse. It's significantly worse. I feel bad for him. He's a good dude and beautiful physique. He'll figure it out. He's still young.
Right. Yeah. All right. Open. You want to start with Nick Walker, the winner? Where do you want to start?
Sure. The mutant, the squirt king, the panty dropper.
Does he have a panty dropper shirt too?
I don't know. We're gonna make one for him. He is now.
Ass Man and Squirt King are the 2 that I saw.
Yeah. He's awesome. I love Nick. Yeah. He's got such an innocence about him, like just a naive, funny. When you ask him and he's dead serious, you're like, oh yeah, I'll win the Olympia. Yeah. But he's dead serious and he's right. Like I don't know that he's gonna win the Olympia this year, but he goes into every show to win, as you should.
Right. Yeah.
And he's proved himself each time. He's gotten better every time. He trains properly. We went over this before. He lives the life. Yeah. He does whatever it takes to be better. And it showed, like particularly his presentation. That's the biggest change. When he used to do that front double and he stretched out and opened up, it made his legs look short. They're not really short. It's just once he came down, he had the best abs in the show, like so deep.
Right.
And even like in his front relaxed, he doesn't have the smallest waist, but there was so much detail everywhere that you couldn't take your eyes off him.
Yeah. It's so full and round, like the delts, the chest, the pecs were just like big, round, hanging glow. The kid's just stacked. I mean, tell me, a lot of people are comparing him to Cutler. Do you see any shades of Cutler in Nick?
No.
No? Okay.
Other than the musculature, they're both crazy muscular, but Jay was 9 feet wide. Like Jay, they probably have the same size hips, but Jay was so wide, it was stupid. And Jay's a few inches taller. You know, Jay's legs were just out of this world when he was coming up. You know, Nick's legs are great and they're getting better, but yeah, Jay's a different animal.
Jay had that freaky quad sweep that you kind of got to be born with that.
Yeah, the quad sweep and the shoulder width is pretty much unmatched. So no, it's unfair to compare Nick to that. But Nick has a certain graininess that is, you know, similar, if not surpassed Jay's. You know, Jay had more of a smooth look. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say Jay was grainy. You know, he wasn't vascular. He was striated, but he, you know, Nick brought vascularity to a different level. Just different. Nick is more the mutant.
He really is. It's just, and you should have
side the hamstring glute. It looks like a cow. You know, like he has so much meat on him. It's crazy looking.
Yeah, the crowd was going ballistic anytime he was out on stage. They loved it. I
loved it.
Yeah,
I was getting goosebumps watching his routine. His like 11-second routine he did. He did 4 poses, put his hands up in the air.
Yep.
You know, and he pulled that off because the place was going so nuts for him, and they knew that it was a foregone conclusion. He was winning.
Yeah.
And, you know, what a feeling that is. You know, it must have been for him to, because you know the mood of the building. You know what you look like. You just know people coming up to you shaking their head like, what the fuck is that? Oh, wow. Yeah. And you just know. He knew. And as good as Justin is no joke. That guy's physique is crazy. He's got width like Cutler almost. Like that shoulder width is just wild. He just, you know, still from the beginning, the legs kind of deter from his physique. And when your legs aren't big, he has to have that midsection sucked out. Like it's got to be very dry and pulled in, and which is weird because I don't think of him as a guy with a big waist, but there's something with his midsection that wasn't hard enough or pulled in enough. And then I got to tell you, I think he was cramping during prejudging. And when it's that close, it's over. If you can't hit a pose, you know, he couldn't hit that rear lat spread. He was stuck.
Yeah.
And
I was wondering what the hell's going on with his rear lat spread, because he was like rolled forward. I'm like, you're not even. The weekend before in Indy, he spread it out, and this time I'm like, did he forget how to hit a lat spread? But you're right, it was probably just cramps. He couldn't physically.
It had to be a cramp because he usually hits it. It's probably his best shot, one of his best shots.
Yeah.
And in order to give that shot up against Nick, I knew it was over right then and there. The minute he couldn't hit that shot, he gave that shot away, and he gave the show away. You know, because I think Nick probably got straight first, but that doesn't mean it wasn't closer than it. You know, there could have been a bunch of judges on the fence, and then once they see he can't pose, can't hit a few poses, Nick's condition beat him, but they're a lot closer. If Justin comes to the Olympia at his all-time best and he gets to nail every shot, wouldn't surprise me if he could leapfrog Nick. It wouldn't surprise me if Nick beat him again, but I don't, I'm a big fan of Justin's physique. I think he's great, and he's going to get better.
Yeah,
for sure.
The new beast from the Middle East, same coach that you had, Chris Aceto, Hassan Mustafa. Wow, best I've ever seen him by far.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of seeing Hassan's every week, all his pictures leading up to the show, and for a period of time, I was actually helping him on Skype with some posing, and then he was working with Flex Wheeler because he's out there in Vegas.
Right.
What a great guy, and the amount of muscle he has is just silly.
It's ungodly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. If he was in Nick's condition, I don't think anyone would have beat him, you know. And that's what he needs. And I don't know if he has a chromosome missing somewhere, that just his body wants to grow. He was eating like a bikini competitor and still growing.
Wow.
You know, 2 weeks out, he was still 276.
Wow.
And he had to like come down. He's only 5'7".
Right.
It's like something, you know, they got to figure that out. And once they do, he can win any show, literally any show.
Yeah, we talk about Nick as a mutant, a freak. Hassan's very freaky in his own way. I remember I said I cracked some joke in front of his wife, like, blah, 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 he's got 22-inch arms. She goes, no, he has 23-inch arms. Like, okay.
Yeah.
The legs, I mean, he's got like,
I believe it.
Rami-like legs. They're just, again, they come out, you know, a foot to each side with that sweep. Yeah.
And his pack's got to be 4 or 5 inches thick. It's just crazy. What he is lacking is shoulder width, clavicles. And that stood out when he was next to Justin and Nick. Yeah. But I still don't think, I think it would be irrelevant if he was 100% conditioned. True. Because he has such great shoulders, such great pecs. His back is insane. His rear lat spread was just wild. And coupled with those legs, and he has great abs. Great, you know, he's got everything. He's a dangerous dude, and I cannot wait to see him 100% because he's gonna break a lot of hearts.
Yeah, that was only his 5th pro show, I think, and yeah, he gets better every time. His color was crappy in the past, but he's figured out a lot of things. I think he's just gonna get better every time we see him. Cali Pro is less than 2 weeks away now. I think he's got a good shot at that one for sure.
Yeah, he just got to keep his foot on the gas between now and then. Yeah. Who's fourth?
Dorian Haywood. Yeah. Colorado.
God bless him. He's one of those guys. He's just a big, thickly muscled guy. I would like to see better condition from him. It just, but it's hard not to like him because he's got so much muscle, and this is bodybuilding.
Right.
He has those shoulders. His shoulders are great. Shoulders, pecs, just a big dude. And, you know, he's proof that if you bring it, you can beat, because he beat a lot of guys who are structurally better with better physiques. He just brought it, you know, there's no other.
And he, give him and his coach, Dave Kalick, credit, because he did improve a lot from the week before. I didn't like his color. He wasn't dark enough, the condition. And I told Dave, I said, I know his legs are good, but they looked flat as hell to me in Indy. And they were able to somehow fill them out a little bit for this. So
yeah, the only thing I was questioning was the G-string he was wearing. I don't know where that came from.
Right from CJ's Elite Posing Suits, no? Isn't that what they all
Did
use?
you ask him about that?
No, but I assume everybody uses her for their suits.
Oh, I don't think she would have made him a G-string though.
Yeah, I mean, if it was that bad, don't you think they would have called him on it? Like kicked him
I
out
think
of
they
the
did. I don't know. Yeah, he's good. He's one of those guys that he'll end up beating you if you're not ready. Yeah. You know, he shows up. Yeah, good for him.
Very enthusiastic. 5th place, this Mohammed El Imam, who I barely had heard of until Indy, because the only pro show I even remember seeing his name was Romania last year. Another big dude. He's got to be close in mass to Nick, one of the only guys up there who was. Freaky guy. Not the prettiest structure, prettiest shape, but a lot of muscle and pretty good condition. I still would have wanted to see better condition from him.
So he's another one that goes back to what I was talking about with Noel Adami. the better condition he gets in, the better the structure will look. So this guy was off significantly from the week before, where his structure looked impeccable. His front double was the best in the show. You know, he stood next to Justin, and he won a few poses. You know,
I honestly wouldn't have been. I don't think too many people would have been upset had he won in Indy.
Well, there you go.
It was close. It was close.
He comes in a week later, significantly off, and he loses to, you know, guys that he shouldn't lose to. You know, had he come in exactly the same, you know, he probably might have slipped by Hassan because his condition would have been better, you know, and he has great legs. His quads were crazy in Indy, great wide width. It's just he let it go, and it made his structure look bad. It made his midsection look bad. It looked like his color was bad. He let a few things that are totally controllable out of his grasp, and that's why he ended up in fifth. He never should have been fifth in that lineup. That's a beautiful physique. Correct.
Now we haven't talked. We didn't do an Indy review, so we haven't even talked about Blessing. Blessing Awobido ended up in sixth place here. I see a lot of potential in him, but I don't see him there yet. I think he's got a lot of work left to do.
Yeah, no, he's not there. He for such a big structure, you know, big wide guy, he needs more legs. Obviously, he knows that. He needs impeccable condition. His condition was better in Indy, but it wasn't great.
Right.
It was better than it was here in New York. I believe he tried to come in fuller.
Yeah.
And you know, that backfired because, you know, in certain spots he doesn't have enough muscle yet. So to come in off, he just looked he looked more off than he probably was. You know, the legs were not they looked bigger, but they weren't striated, like separated. But man, you know, that front double again, rear double, he's got a lot of bells and whistles that will really be eye-catching when he nails it. You know,
like
I think he's doing the right thing. He's shutting it down and gonna do an off season and come back better. You know, I don't know, man. When you're a bodybuilder and your goal is to be good at bodybuilding, I would put less time into the social media stuff. Like, really train. Don't spend all your time on. But you know what? He makes a lot more money than I do. So
I'm saying it's like,
you know, who the hell am I to say?
I mean, would you be better off winning a show and, you know, not to disparage the prize money thing, but would you be better off being like a Dorian Yates back in the day, just show up and blow everybody away and, you know, rely on prize winnings and maybe a contract? But this guy's, he's probably the most he was definitely the most social media popular guy by far in the show. He's got millions and millions of followers.
Yeah.
And that set him up because, you know, now everyone's saying he was overhyped. He's an Instagram bodybuilder. He's a YouTube bodybuilder. They're blasting him. They've been just ripping him to shreds on different forums and whatever.
Well, rightfully so. Rightfully so. That's the problem with social media, is everyone's a superstar. Everyone's Mr. Olympia until you get smacked in the face. And he was, that was it. That was the smack in the ass that he needed. And he'll probably be a lot better for it. And you know what? I give him a lot of credit for, I think he made a post after the show congratulating Nick. And, you know, that was a good move on his part, just trying to squash it. And I knew what he was trying to do leading up to the show, trying to create hype and whatnot. But I was never one of those guys that would like openly disrespect another competitor just to create hype. Yeah, it's a different world. That's WWE shit. But you know, I understand what he's trying to do. He's young. He's made his place. He's made his statement. Now it's time to go to work and improve all that talk. Because I know he can. I know that physique is capable. And if he makes those improvements, he will climb the ladder quickly.
Yeah. Like I said, you said it exactly. What he needs to do is he's got Cali Pro. He's already committed to that. But after that, shut it down for 2021. Come back next year.
Are you sure? I don't think he's doing Cali.
Oh, is he pulled? Did he pull out? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm going
he's
this.
done.
I'm going to this Redcon thing this weekend, Nashville. I'll see him there. But
Yeah, I think he's totally done.
probably should be. Yeah, if I were him, I would just say shut it down now, because it's not going to get any. Things aren't going to get better between now and then.
No, because he's going to run into what the fuck's his name? The nasty kid. Oh man, he's probably going to win, Cal. Oh, forgive me.
Not
The
Sean.
kid who
No.
placed top 10 at the Olympia 2 years ago. Incredible physique. Phil Heath's friend.
We'll think of it later. Don't worry.
You know who it is.
I know. Phil Heath's friend.
Come on, he looks like Lionel Richie with the mustache.
Patrick Moore.
Patrick Moore.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
Once you said Lionel Richie, I was like, oh okay, Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
Patrick Moore, yeah, from Texas.
He's gonna run into a buzzsaw named Patrick Moore. So
Yeah.
if I were him, I wouldn't waste the flight, the energy. He got a lot of experience, in these past 2 shows. There's nothing to be gained by going to Cali. He can't make improvements between now and then that are gonna beat, the guys that are gonna be there.
Right. 7th place on wing. I see a lot of it's a beautiful physique. What a structure, shape. Just again with him, it usually does always come down to condition. And I talked to his coach, Justin, and hopefully by Cal, he is doing Cali Pro, which is a show I think he's done every single one that they put on. He could move up, but that's a really good physique, that kid on wing.
Awesome. I love it. He's got everything. He's just that guy who struggles with nailing his condition. I don't know what he does or what he doesn't do, but the shape, the structure, the muscularity, he's plenty big too. He just hasn't been in condition. I think he came in good maybe once or twice so far as a pro, and he's been rewarded.
Yeah, he's been like 3rd, 4th in a couple of shows.
Yeah,
he was 4th in Tampa. I think he got 3rd at the Cali Pro 1 year. So when like you said, it's condition guy. You can't show up and not be conditioned, because then you just get beat by guys who are. Last guy I want to talk about, I know there's only 9, so sorry, Camilo. We're not going to talk about you today, but cool guy. I met Camilo. But Morgan Ass from France, man, he's 315 pounds on stage. Crazy dry, grainy condition. Not the prettiest shape or structure, but man, talk about a crowd favorite, a people's champion. They love this guy because that's bodybuilding. That's just freak factor right there.
Yeah, they call him Morgan Nasty.
Yeah, that's very accurate. He is nasty.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him get rewarded a little bit more. I don't know what they don't like about him. I know he has a few poses that are tough, like his front double.
His front double is definitely the one. I think the only one I'm like, where I see the structural issues most, which is most people. The front double, you can tell everyone's structural strengths and weaknesses in that one shot.
Yeah.
But like anyone with the structural issues, side shots are just crazy. He's got an insane back, just so rugged, dense, detailed. His front lat, it's funny. He hits a lot of, I want to say classical type of poses. And somehow, even with that physique, he's able to pull it off.
Yeah. Well, because that's how he's hiding his structural flaws, doing twisting stuff and showing his condition from different angles is what's very impressive. I think he's had both his biceps torn at one time or another.
Probably.
From doing like strongman stuff.
Oh, that's right. He was a strong, it's right. I forgot. He was an actual like world-class strongman.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh?
Yeah. He looks it.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see him get rewarded. I hope he keeps coming back, and because the fans love him, like you said. I love to see it. It's just one of those sights to behold that are very impressive.
Yeah, we could go on. There were guys back in the old days like Paco Batista that the structure was just, he was never going to win anything. But man, he came out and just people were like, Jesus, what is that?
Yeah.
So much muscle, so shredded and freaky. But
we need that.
Yeah. So that was a 2021 New York Pro. Show you've won twice. I wish you could have been down there. You didn't have to wear a mask. It was awesome. And congrats to Steve Weinberger. Put on another great production. IFBB Pro League. Man, yeah, everything went off. You know, it's I was looking at my clock and they were starting like exactly at the times things were supposed to start. That's got to be a first. Like 4 p.m. the finals, it started exactly at 4. 7 p.m. exactly at 7. Yeah,
Wow.
you ever seen that before? So, yeah,
It probably has to do with COVID. They're probably going to be out of there in time for the cleanup crew and
that's true. That's true.
and whatnot.
But
So it's a good
show.
thing.
It was a good
Yeah.
show. Really good, exciting show. The crowd, everyone seems like it's feeling like things are getting back to normal. And this show was definitely a big step in that direction. We all felt like it's almost over, this COVID crap. It's almost over, guys. And it was a really good energy there. Yeah, good vibe.
Yeah, it was loud as hell, especially when Nick Walker was on stage.
Oh, dude, my ears were bleeding.
Yeah.
It's one of the only
got
times I was
goosebumps,
happy to be
man.
hearing impaired. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
thank God I can't hear this that well.
That's funny.
All right.
Good.
Well, all right, Jose Raymond, thank you so much. I want to encourage you guys to go to his website, thebostonmass.com. Plenty of stuff on there, including awesome merchandise, clothes that'll make you look even more jacked. Check him out on his YouTube channel, The Boston Mass. Does great shows with his buddy Nate Tello. They do interviews, they go to gyms, it's all kinds of cool stuff. And of course on Instagram, it's with 2 E's, Boston Mass. So check all that out, guys.
Yes,
Jose,
sir.
thank you so much, Jose. As always, excellent commentary and insights. You pull no punches, tell it like it is. That's the only way you know how to be. Yeah.
That's it, baby.
All right.
Thank you, Ron.
So another episode of No Way Jose. Everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, do all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Yeah, buddy.